Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Do I need to change anything or am I good?
Are you good now?
No, I mean, do I need to change my mic or anything?
No, it's good.
All right, cool.
Did it switch to side-by-side view just now?
I'm fucking with it. Yeah, there you go. Now I can look at my twin on the left side.
Hey! Looks like you got a fresh cut too, huh? I look like a burly monster.
I had one of my homies come over and he's a barber and took care of like me and the kids and my friends. So
Yeah.
it was cool. I couldn't handle it anymore. I don't usually go more than like 2 weeks without a haircut, and it's fucking driving me crazy.
Yeah, me too. They actually had the city of Colleyville. That's over kind of by the DFW airport. The mayor there said screw the mandate and opened up a week early. So they opened up restaurants and barbershops and all kinds of stuff a little bit early.
Yeah.
And the governor of Texas said he was going to get after that mayor, but I don't know if anything actually happened or not. But there's a bunch of people out there that are just like, screw this, we need to eat.
Yeah. I don't I'm not big about the breaking of the rules on what they are. Like, I know Tanner's doing. Are we recording?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know if we were going to get started or not. If we already did. I'm not big on obviously people got to do whatever they got to do. But it's just not what I'm going to do. I'm going to adhere to all the guidelines, but I'm smarter than the average bear, so I'll figure it out. I'm about 3 days away from releasing my full schedule, and I've got everything figured out. And once I figure it out and I know it's 100%, I'm going to tell all the other promoters what I did and how I did it, and kind of give them a format and a game plan for how they can go about running their business. So I feel pretty confident that I've got this figured out on how we can operate.
So you're talking about,
I'm not talking about just me. I'm talking about all of us. I figured it out. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let me know in 3 days what you figured out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys are good. You could start doing events now in Texas.
Yeah, well, it's just a little bit early with the mandate being in May and that kind of stuff, and how many people
And not knowing if they're going to test positive and have an uptake and then have the mandate be repelled. That's kind of the issue that you're going to be dealing with. But, I was going to do – I don't want to say what I'm doing yet because it's not 100% done yet. But in Texas, with the 25% in a facility, you can book anything anywhere right now. You could book, fucking – where do you live, Dallas?
Yeah.
So, I mean, even in NITEX has got to have a fucking capacity of 1,500, 2,000. So you cut that to 400, right, for a tournament. And then you just fucking break it into sections. You do a 2-hour section, and then you kick everybody out. You sanitize, clean all the mats. You do all that shit. And then you start your next group an hour after that. And then you do it over a couple of days. There's a way to do all of this. There's a way to operate every business just as it was before. You just have to spend a little bit more or negotiate a little bit better and figure out how you can maximize your revenue while at the same time minimizing your customers. So That's kind of what the direction has to go. I figured out how to do shows without any audience, and be able to lose less money than I'm losing each week by sitting around doing nothing. So to me, that's a win, because I'm purging about 5,000 a week just sitting around.
Yep.
So if I can get that down to 2,000 a week, I'm up $3,000 from what I'm doing right now. So it's you know what I mean? So it's I'm going to be clawing and fighting and scratching to keep this shit alive, maybe for the next year and a half, but it's funny because I was just the first month that this happened, the first week I pretty much did nothing. I just took edibles all day, watched TV, watched Tiger King, and didn't do shit. And then like after the first week, I was like, all right, we're fucking stuck in this shit for a while. So we went pretty much made a gym in my garage, and then got mats and shit like that and started training, and we were doing that pretty consistently. And then we had a COVID scare at my house, and so we had to completely shut down people coming in and out for 2 weeks. And then once we all were fine, we got back to it, and it was like on what is today, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday? What is today? Tuesday?
Today's Wednesday. Today's Wednesday.
Wednesday?
I
So,
thought it was Friday earlier when I was talking to my dad.
yeah, I think it was Friday. It was either Friday or Saturday or maybe even Sunday this week. I don't even know, dude. Like, but I woke, I took a bunch of edibles and then I passed out, and I just like, I woke up and I was like, I've been doing all my numbers backwards. Like, I can actually make this work. And so I like started getting on the computer and fucking figuring shit out and looking at all my contracts and looking at all my stuff and figuring out exactly what I got to do to get to zero, which is so crazy. Like, I'm going to fight my ass off to break even, it's like not normally how I do business. Normally I'm trying to make a profit, but it's like, fuck, if I make a profit now, I'm up $5,000 from losing it. So, cause we didn't get any loans. We didn't get stimulus checks, bro.
No, either.
I didn't get stimulus checks. I didn't get the PPP loan. I didn't get the EDIL. After I was just like, I kind of was just like, fuck this shit. Like, I'll figure it out myself. You know what I mean? I was like, my guys, at least my employees were able to get unemployment, which is dope, and so, we, some of them got that. I didn't get that. I'm not taking any of that shit either. So it's just like, it's not like a pride thing for me. It's just like, I know I can do it without any help, and I'm not getting any. So instead of bitching and posting about it on Facebook about how the government's not helping me and how they're helping all these corporations, I'm just going to fucking figure it out and get it done. Just like we've done since day one. Same with you guys,
Yeah.
Nobody fucking told us what to do.
Exactly. We're winging it.
We fucking threw our feet in the fire and we started fucking running, man. And then we started running a year later or 2 years later. You started and you guys did your thing and we did our thing. And, probably the most successful professional jiu-jitsu show and the most successful amateur tournament circuit in the country, I would say, with you guys. We're traveling, for sure. I can't think of anybody that does a better job than AGF does when it comes to traveling, especially what you guys do with creating markets that don't exist. I think that's a huge thing that AGF did, going to Mississippi, Alabama, like the places you went. Like, you look at Louisiana, for instance. Louisiana, until all this happened, there's like a tournament every weekend. For years, it was only you guys. And that's how I feel about like Colorado, is like there was no market here before I created it. And Texas had a market, but we blew it the fuck up. When we were Texas, and then
in Oklahoma and Arkansas.
Oklahoma. What's so funny was that when was the tournament where you had your big win against Albert Hughes? Do you remember what year that was?
When I was a brown belt with you?
Yeah.
08, 09.
08, 09. It was back in the day, right?
Yeah.
So that tournament was actually supposed to be TOC4 in Oklahoma City. And I got nervous and bailed because I didn't know the market at all. And the research I had done had shown like very little jiu-jitsu in Oklahoma at all. There was Lovato, and then there was like Triton and Tulsa. And like maybe a couple other gyms were open, but like it seemed to me like I was like, it's just a wrestling town. Like nobody's gonna come. I think the Noguera brothers had a gym there, and they were doing like some small tournaments and shit at the time, or Apollos. I don't remember, dude. It was so long ago. But anyway, I moved it to Texas. Then you guys wanted to go into Oklahoma and completely opened up the market up there, and that's a great market. I mean, it's small, but I mean, like, I don't think people understand how important the grassroots companies like AGF and like what we did are to help grow the sport. Because, it's like IBJJF started coming to Denver this past year. you know, and people are like, oh, they're finally coming. And I'm like, yeah, you're welcome, motherfuckers. Like,
Yeah.
have fun going giving them all your money after I fucking stayed the same price for 10 years for you, you know? But
I know for a fact that I'm on their radar because,
they follow
once
they
or
do that.
twice, it's like a coincidence maybe, but 6 times they've either put a tournament on the same date in the same city a week before, or the next time we go back, or I see they like in Amsterdam, for example, they use the same facility as me.
Yeah.
So like and I was
I mean, it ain't any different than what we do. You know, I mean, we look
yeah
at where other people are going, and I'd be lying if I said when I wasn't building this that I didn't look at where IBJJF was going, because I was like, there's nobody that makes money like the IBJJF does. So I was
yeah
like, all right, well, if they have been there twice, there's obviously good enough of a market, right?
yeah.
So it's like at first it was Naga I started doing that with, and then I was like, Naga just don't give a fuck. Like they just do 4 tournaments a weekend. They don't give a shit. Same with like
Yeah.
grappling industries. They just fucking throw shit up just to do them.
Yeah.
And they make all their
They'd
money.
rather have quantity over quality.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how they are with them. But, you guys really did a great job creating markets that didn't exist. And I don't even know if most people even know that. You know what I mean? I've always respected that what you guys did. But no, but back to what we were talking about, man. There's just like, there's a way to do this. Like, you just can't give up. There's a way to run your schools. There really is. There's a way to run your schools. There's a way to fucking do this. There's a way to run a restaurant. There's a way to run a bank. You just got to be fucking open enough to say what I've done my whole life. It doesn't work anymore. So what do? Do I just sit back, collect unemployment for a year and, work under the table and sell drugs? Or do you like fucking figure it out and get back to your life and then make your adjustments as things change? Because they might never change. This might be it.
That's the question. Like, I was talking to a few people, and I've got a lot of friends in Europe, and so they're like, I'm seeing some of the things that they're doing, and then how we're doing it here and in different places. But a lot of people, they talk about the temperatures before you go in and out of a place and different
Doesn't
things
even
like
make
that.
any sense if you're asymptomatic and you carry it for 2 weeks. It doesn't even make sense. Like, I mean, obviously you're going to do temperature checks to every single person that comes in, right? So you're going to do temperature. I even posted a whole thing, and I got like a lot of flack for it. It's funny too, because I got that from Ghazi in Georgia. I was like, because I know she's like, that woman knows how to run a business. Like she knows how to run a gym, and she's, multiple time world champion. And I seen some of the stuff she was posting, and I was kind of following some of the stuff because it seemed like she was on top of things. So I just asked her straight up. I was like, I'm just curious, since George is open, what are you guys doing? And then she sent me this list of like 15 things. And obviously I think a lot of it's overkill, but you have to go overkill.
Yeah.
There's no option to not do overkill. What if you like, oh, I'm not going to make my people, to do temperature checks, or I'm not going to make it. What if one person comes in and it's 104 degrees or 103 degrees? You know what I mean? And then you let them train and they get the entire gym sick just because you didn't want to do a temperature check. It's like, buy a $400 thermometer. It's not that fucking expensive. You get a good one, you scan their forehead, you fucking do it. So that's step one. And then they have to hand sanitize, to sanitize their feet. And I understand there's a million, like I'm not out there wearing masks all the time and stuff. But when I go to the grocery store, we do. And it's like, it's just a matter of reducing the risk at all. If you want to go back in business, you have to do this stuff. You have to, because the worst thing that could happen, especially to a business owner or a tournament promoter, someone comes and competes, trains at your gym, gets COVID somehow from your gym, and then gets their parents sick or something and they fucking die. They're going to sue you. Like, lawyers are licking their chops right now, waiting for these businesses to open up and not go by the guidelines. Trust, my lawyer told me that. My lawyer is like, we have to have a completely detailed, foolproof, the absolute best type of sanitizing possible in the world to show that we've done everything that we possibly can in order to help this, but let people live their lives. So, I mean, that's just kind of where we're going. We're going to go above and beyond. And I mean, like I've said from day one, I think this shit's fucking stupid. Like I get it. people are dying, but fucking people die every day, And so it's like, are they dying more of this than other stuff? I mean, all the numbers and all that shit, I'm not a fucking scientist. You know what I mean? Like, but from what I see, it doesn't seem as bad as they're making it out to be.
Correct.
Great. And so to me, I'm going to abide by all the regulations of every city and every state that I go to. And I'm going to overkill when it comes to cleaning and sanitizing. So at the end of the day, if someone winds up getting sick at one of my events or something like that, and they sign a waiver, whatever, I know that I did everything that I possibly could to allow them to live their lives and at the same time try to keep them safe. But they still made the choice to come. They don't have to go to your gym. They don't have to compete. They can stay home if they're sick. If you're sick, and if you're with somebody or around anybody that's in the fucking, whatever, the danger zone or whatever, So I think there's a lot of self-accountability that has to go into place, And
well, like you're saying with the whole 2-week thing, you could be sick 2 weeks, you could never really know. But as a part of like what I was saying, where people taking temperatures and stuff like that, if several businesses start to do that, I think just a general person in general may get really sick of going everywhere and having to do temperature checks and wearing face masks. I don't know how long into the future we will stay with this. I could probably see like plastic shields up at the 7-Elevens and stuff like they've been doing, to block cashiers or whatever. They even have that at some of our grocery stores. But it may be the new norm, like some people say, and it also may go away at a certain point. I don't know if we will have to take temperatures at the beginning of every tournament for the rest of our lives.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But we might have to. That might be what it is. I've been saying this for a while now. You have to prepare for the worst and just pray that things get better. And going out there and protesting and fucking not adhering to whatever the government guidelines are for your city and your state, like, you're not fucking helping anything. You're not pushing anything forward. The scariest thing that can happen is that they open, and Texas is the one that could be really fucked of all the states. Because I'm literally like following 30. I do shows in 30 states. So I'm like, I've got 30 different states on my alert. And anytime something changes, me and Missy every single day are going through all the reports to figure out where we're at, what phase they're in, when we think we can go in these states. And Texas, I can tell you right now, is the scariest place because very few people have been tested out there. And even though I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go to Texas because they're letting 25% capacity into venues. As soon as they do that, if there's a massive spike or something, like, Texas could be in really bad shape,
Yeah.
And so it's like, especially Texans, I don't understand why they're like so upset. It's like your government out there is pushing forward as fucking hard as they can compared to every other state.
Yeah.
Georgia and Texas are by far the most progressive and trying to get back to business. And I just like see all the protests. I'm like, these are fucking stupid because you're not paying attention to what's going on in the rest of the country. You're not looking at what's happening in fucking Arizona or what's happening in Boston or Philly or Jersey because you don't go there. You don't live there. You don't understand, and I'm looking at all these cities and it's like when I see this stuff, like people in California are like losing their fucking minds, and it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
You got to figure out how to survive. You know what I mean? Like, you got to figure it out. And whether you got to lie, cheat, and steal, whatever you got to do, you got to do. But, I don't know. I'm ready. I'm ready to get back at it. I've got a plan, and it's going to fucking work. And I know it's going to work. And so I'm just ready to implement it. And I'm hoping on Monday I get to announce exactly what I'm doing and contact all the promoters and tell them exactly how I did it and exactly what to do. Because I want to see everybody survive this, man. I mean, like, for so long, I've never honestly and I don't want you to take this bad, but I've never considered you guys as my competition. When I was doing tournaments all the time, obviously we always worked well around each other's schedules because we understand that you're going to hurt your business by going on top of people, and we've stayed out of each other's areas quite a bit. So, but when it comes to like what I do now for a living versus what I used to do with the tournaments, I don't see any tournament company as like a competitor. I don't even see Third Coast Grappling and Kasai or any of them as a competitor, to be honest with you. I created the market and I created my own fucking following, so I'm my own competitor. I just have to keep up with myself, and I haven't been able to do that for the past year and a half because of all my personal problems. But you know, I'm ready to go now, man. I've been sleeping for 6 weeks, man. Fucking, I slept more in the past 6 weeks than I have in the past 6 years.
There you go.
So, you know, so I'm fucking, we're ready to fucking go, man.
Well, anytime anyone talks to me
kinda,
about Fight to Win Pro, I always tell them that I hope Seth makes it on TV. I hope that, you know, that Fight to Win Pro is the organization that makes jiu-jitsu, mainstream jiu-jitsu onto American television. You know, and not like ESPN 5 on a Sunday night at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking like, you know, I want to be at Buffalo Wild Wings and see Fight to Win Pro.
it would be dope. It would be dope. You know, I don't know if it's definitely not in the cards for this year or next year, but you know, we'll see what happens in 2023. You know, I've had conversations. I had conversations in the past with a couple of different networks and stuff, but I mean, Flow takes care of me, you know, and the reason that I chose to stay with Flow Grappling versus going on to, because I had an offer to do television, and I had an offer for Fight Pass and DAZN or DAZN, however the fuck you say it. And when it came down to it, you know, it's like none of those companies are really run by jiu-jitsu people, you know, and it was like, all right, well, you're either going to be like if you're on Fight Pass, like even if you're an MMA show, like you're such an afterthought, you know, like they literally only put you on there for content. They don't even care about you. Like, what do they give a shit? You're getting what, fucking 100 subscribers, and the UFC is doing 1 million buys. Like,
yeah,
they give a fuck about jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? They're doing it to be supportive, and they're doing it to have content because the people that run that are brilliant. Stephen Tucci's fucking genius. You know, the people that run the UFC and the people that run Fight Pass are brilliant, and they've got a system that works. And it's just like, if you have a show on Fight Pass or you have a fight on Fight Pass, the chances of people watching that versus watching it on Flow Grappling is like, you know, Flow Grappling's fan base for grappling is probably fucking 10 times the size of what people are on Fight Pass. I'd say 10% of the people that have Flow memberships also have Fight Pass memberships. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
they pay me a
Flow,
shitload of money, and that money goes to the fighters. And that's how I'm able to pay out, you know, over $1.5 million a year, is because they take care of me, and it helps me take care of the guys. And so I'm happy with where I'm at, honestly. It would be cool if Flow had a TV channel. That would be dope. But like, honestly, unless something like crazy happened, which it could, given the current climate, you know, I don't see myself going anywhere else for me or ADCC.
Yeah. Well, that's so. What made you want to transition from? You say TOC for the listeners. I know you mean tournament of champions in the regular the regular Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments, kind of like AGF does. Compared to Fight to Win Pro, what was your start for that? Why did you want to? I mean, I love the show and all that, but what made you go, I want to do this instead of tournaments?
You know, I still do 4 tournaments a year in Colorado. You know, we have over 1,000 people compete at each one. So to not do them would be fucking stupid as fuck, you know? We make a lot of money doing the tournaments, and that money goes into Fight to Win Pro, and it helps continue to grow the company and keep it alive. I honestly don't know if I could continue to operate this next year. If we're not able to do regular tournaments in Colorado, it's going to be really hard to stay alive for me, because those tournaments bring in the revenue I need to pay all my bills. And then a lot of Fight to Wins don't make money, you know? But I stopped doing the events in Texas, mainly because of oversaturation, and I didn't feel like I was needed anymore. When I first started doing the tournaments in Texas, we were needed out there. You know, Naga overprices, and they have terrible tournaments. People are stuck there, you know, for 13 hours to get one match. And
Yep.
At the time, it was me and Brett and Naga. Grappler's Quest maybe did 1 or 2, IBJJF. There was no, at the time when we went there was no good B tournament. You know what I mean? There was IBJJF, I consider an A-level tournament. And not that I think they're well run or actually good tournaments or worth the money at all, because I don't. But I'm just saying what people consider them, right?
Yeah.
So
Sure.
you have IBJJF was like an A-level tournament. Grappler's Quest was an A-level tournament, right?
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi Pro would be an A-level tournament. Then there's the B-level tournaments, right? Like the national regional tournaments. So you get me and Naga, New Breed, and I mean nowadays I don't even know how many there are. I don't even pay attention. 5, is a good one. But they weren't around back then. And then there's the C-level tournaments, which are all the local shit tournaments. And Texas got inundated with shitty tournaments. Like everybody and their mom started throwing events like every weekend, and nobody had any respect for anybody else's schedule. And we went from having 700 to 800 competitors at tournaments to 400 to 300. And for a shitty tournament that maybe spends, say $10,000 on a tournament, right? You get 200 people, plus spectators, you make 3,000 bucks. And you're like, yeah, we fucking killed it, because you didn't spend shit. You had shitty medals. You had a shitty high school. Your mats look like dog shit. Your marketing is fucking atrocious. You didn't do a good job. You just fucking put a tournament out there, and there was enough people that will compete at any tournament. The same people that do all those shitty local tournaments, they do yours too, and they do mine. And they do big ones. Those same 200 people do every single tournament. Yep. Okay, so then you have to find the people that are super picky.
We classify those as diehards.
Right, you're diehards. So, but then you have the picky people that are brand loyal. They're IBJJF with me, and there's fucking millions of people that are IBJJF loyal as fuck. They chase that number one ranking when it's like, you realize you're only ranked number one because you spent more money than everybody else, right? Like, that's how it works. You traveled and went to more tournaments than everybody else and won divisions of 1 and 2. Like, I'm not impressed. I don't fucking care. If you want to be the number one ranked guy, then go win the world championships. Then you're ranked number one. Like, that's the only way. That's the only thing that counts, in my opinion. Pans, worlds, all the rest of it's just garbage. It's just, and then the way that I could go off on fucking IBJJF all day, but like the way that they make black belts like compete in order to compete at world. So it's like they do that so that they have high level competitors at local tournaments. So make the local tournaments look better. Like it's so fucking painstakingly obvious how they make their money to me.
Oh yeah.
It's sure. Like, it's a fucking joke, but people buy it. People drink the fucking Kool-Aid and suck the dick. So whatever. So at the time I felt like Fight to Win was like really important, because we were a great B-level tournament. We're charging $40 to $50 to compete. You're getting double elimination. Our medals have always been fucking the shit, except for the belt buckles. And we always had a quality product. And then, you guys came out and 5 came out, and then the inundated amount of shit events.
Yep.
That's why fun anymore, dude. It just wasn't fun. Like, I did tournaments in Colorado. Like, I mean, it used to just be me out here. Now there's fucking a tournament every weekend, but my tournaments still have huge following, obviously, because my team supports me, which I'm grateful for. And we have, a bazillion students, and they support me a lot, and they're about half my tournament. And if I wasn't with them, I probably wouldn't even do tournaments here either if they didn't support me, but they do. And, it's fun though. Like the tournaments, like it's like all my friends, like, so many people that started with me as white belts that are black belts and own in school now. And it's just like, I didn't have that connection in Texas like I do in Colorado. You know what I mean? Because I was promoting MMA fights forever too, man. So it's like, I know everyone out here. And so it's not even just about like making money and putting on a quality event. It's like, I get to see like all my friends that I only get to see 4 times a year. You know what I mean? Like training partners from back in the day, from when I was with other schools, or, people from other parts of the state that you don't get to see that often. And it's like really fun, but like Texas is just like, I know I'm from there, but like my company's not a Texas-based company, And so I don't know, man. I just felt like you guys handled it and I wasn't needed anymore. So I felt no need to continue to do tournaments.
I mean, we spread not just to make money and expand, but like you said, dude, Texas is saturated. And now, like, we have good 2-day tournaments.
It won't be now.
Yeah, I know, right?
It won't be now. You guys you'll survive because you're smart and you'll figure out how to run your business. And these other people will not do it right. They'll do an event. It'll fuck up everything for a while, and then they'll go out of business. And it's good. This is a situation where the strongest are going to survive. And those of us that built ourselves up from nothing will beat everybody that took investors and loans. we will beat everyone. And when it's
Yep.
all said and done, all the best companies will make it out of this, and all the little ones will die. And then once we stabilize the market, they'll come back. And we'll go through
Yeah.
the same fucking wave all the time. The same wave.
And it's the guys that do it for a living only. You know,
Yeah.
like me and Chris, we don't have side jobs. You know what I mean? Like I don't even own a jiu-jitsu school anymore, dude.
You don't?
No,
I didn't know that.
yeah, bro. Like I just run my association, and I went all into AGF years ago. Like probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe I went all into AGF. There was a jiu-jitsu gym that was an affiliate of mine that the owner was moving to Phoenix, and so AGF actually bought it. But like I wasn't the full-time instructor or nothing. If you ever
That's
see,
the one in North Richland Hills.
no, that's Johnny Bedford's in
Yeah,
Evan Cuts. That's Bedford's, and like so, I'll teach the advanced there Tuesday and Thursday at 9:30, and stay connected with Levi and Devin Miller and all those kind of dudes. You know, like
good dudes. You always had
yeah,
a great crew, man. That was one of the things about your people, man. They're always awesome. I always love those guys.
yeah, good people, and so Johnny was down the street, and I teach there, but I travel and teach seminars. I still train 4 or 5 days a week. You know what I'm saying? But I don't physically own a school anymore, and so it's more like teacher program, and I teach my affiliates, and I travel to Europe and all that crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you paid your dues. You people want to do that. Like I'm not gonna lie. I applied for some jobs over the past month, which was really depressing for me. I haven't had to apply for a job in 22 years. But I was just like, I can't figure out how to save my business. I got to go to work. I got to figure out what to do. So I think I did in the past 2 weeks. I probably had like 12 interviews.
Oh wow!
So I'm like, well, I mean, you got to remember, I was like really connected in the fitness field. So like,
Yeah.
I even applied to 24 Hour Fitness, man. And it was like, that's like the last place I want to work. But there was a position open for like the director of sales, which was like what I used to do. So I was like, ah, fuck it. Why not? But that was like my low point. And I was like, I never saw myself on monster.com or LinkedIn or ExecuNet, like trying to get a job. And then like the second I figured it out, I was like, fuck this account. Fuck this resume. I like deleted all my shit. I was like, I got my shit figured out. I'm not fucking applying for shit. I'm going to fucking figure this shit out. I'm like, if not, my first step, I'll probably have to sell my car. And then after that, I'll refinance my house. I'll figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I just like the thought of putting on a name. It's funny. I like messaged one of my homies that used to be the president of 24 Hour. And I was like, man, this fucking blows. Like, I think I'm gonna have to go back to the name tag life. And he was like, no, dude. He's like, you'll figure this out. He's like, you need to just calm down and stop being so frantic. And I think that's one of the things everybody needs to do. He's like, right now the sky's falling everywhere because you go on social media and it's protests and it's everybody arguing and it's fucking garbage. Like I deleted my Instagram until I figured out how to get business back because it was just like so tired of seeing fucking bullshit, And now it's like I'm on Facebook to message for Messenger and I'm like, I don't even want to go on my fucking homepage. I want to see some of my friends, like we're really good friends, like they're posting. I'm just like, oh my God, like you don't fucking know any better than they do, or this guy, like none of us do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Take the information that's fucking given to you and figure out how to work within it.
And some random dude in the suburbs of Schenectady, nowhere, USA, is gonna find out the truth that nobody else knows.
Yeah.
From the Google that we all have access
Yeah.
to and are given the information. You're gonna formulate your opinion, but like, it's going to be – we don't know the origination and we don't know the end result. So people are going to find their own ways to connect dots that actually aren't there and formulate opinions based off of it because there is no 100% evidence or 100% information.
But look at what you're saying, though, right? We're fucking jiu-jitsu guys, bro. Me and you grew up fucking in the drug world and fucking hustling. And it's like, who the fuck are we to fucking talk about, this government, this and this and this. Like, shut the fuck up. Figure out how to get more students on your fucking Zoom stuff. Figure out fucking how to do privates out of your house. Quit wasting your fucking time arguing with people. Like, that time's over. The time to watch fucking Tiger King all day and fucking and waste all your fucking time and drinking, like, it's done, man. Like, we all thought we were gonna get saved by the government. They didn't fucking save us. Figure it out. Stop fucking waiting around for somebody to give you a fucking handout. You know, and I know I'm sounding like a fucking Republican, but at the same time, like, fucking go. Like, stop bitching, stop fucking waiting, go, figure it out, you know? And that's how we are right now, man. I'm at my fucking finger on the trigger.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting on I'm waiting on a couple of things, and then we're going fucking hard, man. I'm talking about trying to pull off like fucking 20 shows in the next fucking 10 weeks.
Oh, wow.
We're going hard as fuck, you know? And that's what we're going to have to do. So
you talked about Texas, though. Are you planning on coming back with that Dallas card you had? That was one of your top cards.
I'm definitely going to do Austin and Dallas. There are some issues that I'm very nervous about this 25% thing, and I can't bank on it because I am 99% sure that that's going to change before I do an event. So I'm planning on all my events being with no attendance. And I think any other way of thinking at this point is kind of stupid if you plan on trying to work. Because Texas's plan has not been proven to work, and Georgia is going backwards. So you got to plan to do stuff with the absolute minimum amount of people. And then if things change, it's money in the bank. But my budgeting, everything is for 0 attendance and 10 people in-house total. But the difference is I'm not going to do what Sug did. I'm not going to have a shitty looking fucking show. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to pay to watch my show, or you're going to give me 2 hours or 3 hours of your time on the week that you could be spending with your kids, or, you know, fucking, you know, watching 90 Day Fiance, I'm going to fucking make sure that the show's worth watching and that it's fun, you know, and that it's dope, you know. And I just, like, I can't put out an inferior product. You know, it's like, you're going to host an AGF tournament inside of a fucking gym? Like, no, you're not going to fucking do that. Like, you can spend fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars on all this equipment to not use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a reason you branded your shit the way you did. And so we're going to use it just like the WWE, you know, just like the UFC's doing, you know, because they want the experience to be, you know, you want people to try to have some sense of normality, to get back to how things were, you know. And I feel like with me stepping up and putting my neck out there to get this stuff done, I hope I'm just the first fucking domino, you know. I figure it out. I tell Kasai what I did. I tell fucking Ryan what I did. I tell the fucking dudes in England and fucking, you know, whoever else are, Eric, you know, and this is what I did. It worked for me. Good luck. You know, best of luck to them. I hope they fucking make it, you know? And then the tournament thing it's a whole different world, you know? When you need the registrations, it's going to be tough for a long time, you know? But
I'd rather operate at 25% capacity than I would at 0.
Yeah, it's the same thing. If you manage your budget correctly and you're smart enough to pull it off, which you are, but you have to think outside the box.
We already give a little. AGF is always, because we have like the Monday is final day of registration, so we close registration early anyway, so to be a little bit more organized. Yeah. And I'll be able to schedule a buffer between the main exchange of people for me is when kids is going and then adult starts.
Yeah, of course.
So like that kids and adults overlap will have to go away, and we'll have to have a space, like you said, for cleaning. We might do an hourly thing. I don't know. The other benefit that we'll have of people, whether it's going to jiu-jitsu gyms or going to events, is the people that are attending classes and attending events are, in my opinion, are going to be like-minded as the business owner. Like, people aren't going to be going to a jiu-jitsu gym and complaining that people are breathing all over when they have to wear masks.
Right.
You know, they're going to be like-minded. And the people that signed up for a jiu-jitsu tournament or an event or Fights to Win Pro, they know that they're going to come in contact with someone. They know that that's the risk that they're taking and that they're going to a public sporting event. You know, so at least we have that a little
Watch
bit.
it. Watch everybody come out to class wearing like Jeremy Hastings did with the pumpkin outfit.
Yeah.
You know, was it Jack Skellington? You know, the Pumpkin King. Watch everybody do that. That'll be the new grappling requirement. Full head to toe spandex. That's not even it's not a bad idea. What I just said. I mean, it literally is something that could be done. You do that. You put a N95 insert into the mask, and then you have the stuff that stays on. You know, you can even figure out. I'm sure there's a company out there like what the Muslims what they wear is the hijab thing, right? Is that what it's called? They like, yeah, doesn't that like cover most of your face?
Depending on how you wear it, but yeah, I can go over your nose too.
I'm just saying, there's going to be options to make stuff work. Just fucking get out of your head about it and think about it, you know?
Yeah.
But I think I just came up with somebody just got a good business plan, you know? Grappling headset, you know, because like they wear those when you ski, right? There's the things when you ski, and it has like just this open, and then the rest of it comes up and covers you here, and then covers you down here.
Yeah.
Require those. Fuck, maybe we'll do that. Buy a shitload of ski masks. Make people compete with ski masks on. I'm dead serious. I'm not joking. Why not? You know? It's the only thing, because the fucking N95 mask isn't going to stay on when you're grappling.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck, man, that's a good idea. Somebody should do that.
For sure. It's definitely something that people got to prep for. I think a lot of people are just sitting around waiting to be like released instead of thinking about what they're going to do the day that they're released. You know what I mean?
I didn't take this, like, I haven't been in my house for fucking 6 weeks. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I go out every day. I go do my stuff. I go to the grocery store, and that's pretty much it. But I'd say every day I go do something outside, whether it's, you know, walking my dogs or, you know, hanging out with my kids or go to the grocery store or go to the chiropractor, or we do something every day, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So do I. We go out bike.
People really like literally lock themselves in their house for 6 weeks? Do they really do that?
Oh, there's a ton of people who have sat in their house for 6 weeks, dude. And, you know, I mean, unfortunately, some of it's older people, healthy people, not as much. But, like, we saw my dad, like, a week ago. My dad drove in front of our house and stayed in his car. And we have, like, a hoop out front and stuff, so we were chilling out front already. And we sat in our lawn chairs, a little like you know, fold-out chairs, whatever, and talked to my dad for an hour. And then, like, a few days later, he came by. We had a barbecue, played some cornhole, stuff like that. And then last night and today, my kids went over to his house for the first time. So he was like a solid 4 or 5 weeks without even being around us.
Yeah, I mean, I just like, I knew it. I mean, it's
He's
weird.
70.
Like, I live in a fucking place that's like, you know, my house is like 5,000 square feet. And I've got like, I live on an acre. And like, you know, it's like, we have a lot here. Like, you know, we're pretty fortunate, you know? So it's like, you know, I don't know, man. I can't believe people did that. They just like forced.
Well, he's 70. My dad's 73. He's had a bypass.
Yeah, but you could at least like go outside and sit in a rocking chair or something. You know?
Yeah. I mean,
I know. I mean, you go in your backyard or something. Fuck, man. Like, I honestly think there's people that have literally not left their fucking walls for 6 weeks. I'd go fucking crazy. I'd go insane.
You can talk to some people, and you can tell they haven't like communicated and talked to people in a while.
I don't know, man. The people I talk to, everybody's doing something, you know. We've gotten in really good shape. Like, everyone in my house is like gained muscle, lost body fat, because we've been eating pretty good. Because Missy's been here and she's been cooking for us. So we've been eating well, and we've been training and running and lifting and doing jiu-jitsu and making the most out of what we have. We don't have that much stuff. We got like $1,000 worth of equipment, and we make a workout every single day. And we just like keep each other accountable and force ourselves to do stuff, because it's so easy to do nothing.
Yeah, I've been slinging dumbbells. I even went on a 16-mile bike ride with my son. That little dude, he did it on a single-speed BMX. I have a 10-speed beach cruiser. So
how old is he now?
He's 8.
Shit, my 13-year-old wouldn't do that. He's like the
Yeah.
best athlete I know, and there's no way I could get him to do that.
And we,
Your
we,
80-year-old's a
we just
beast,
kind
bro.
of, we go cruising around every couple days for a couple hours, and then it ends
It's
up
so
being a long
dope.
time. Yeah, for sure. We've gotten to do a lot of cool things, and I have cooked a lot more, barbecued a lot
Yeah, me
more, and
too.
all that kind of stuff. You know, we organize everything in the house.
I
This
did
is
the
kind
same thing, man. I emptied out a fucking dumpster of clutter. Just clutter. Not trash, clutter. Like just shit that we don't need, clothes I don't need. I know I should have
for sure.
donated them, whatever, suck my dick. But
Yeah,
like it's easier just to throw it out because if not, I'm just gonna leave it in my garage and never take it anywhere. But we just threw out like a dumpster full of clutter. And like now it's like it's so funny because like I haven't cleaned my house personally in 4 years. You know, like I had a housekeeper coming in and Lauren would help out and stuff like that. And you know, now it's just us here at the house. So it's just like we've been every Thursday, the kids do their room and the loft. And I do my room and then everybody does the common areas. It takes us 3 hours and our house is like always clean. And it's like if
yeah,
this were to happen, like we would have just kept having like piles of laundry everywhere because we never caught up. You know,
yeah.
it's like so much more comfortable to live here now. And now it's like in our system. It's like I'm doing laundry like every couple hours. I get off my ass. I go get their laundry. I come up, fold it, put it in the right rooms. Kids put their shit away. Everybody helps with the dishes. You know, all that stuff is just like it's become part of our culture now. That you know, I feel like anything you do, you just need 2 weeks to get into it, and then once you like commit to 2 weeks, you can get into it. You know, it's like you're
Yeah.
5 months without. You know,
Well, we
like
started clearing stuff out of the house already. This is recorded now, but it'll probably be released on iTunes and all that stuff like in a couple days.
Mhm.
But I've only put out to my network. I haven't put it out publicly big time. Uh, but not just when this quarantine, but like June-ish, I'm moving to Florida,
oh
and so
yeah, no, I saw that. I saw you post something about that.
yeah, I had hinted about it, but I hadn't put it out full time. My
You're
lady
not
works.
old or Jewish enough to live in Florida, bro.
Yeah.
That's the rule. You have to be old, Jewish, or Brazilian in training at fight sports. Those are the only people.
I know, right? I've been to Florida 4 times last summer, and then I was there in Jacksonville and in Orlando in February. I fell in love with it. I grew up in Cali next to the beach and stuff, but I don't want to move back to Cali. And my black belt Brock Garlic lives in Fort Myers area. It's like Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and that area. And so
You're in
we're
Orlando, bro. You got to go train at Coringa Conway's gym. It's the most savage fucking workout I've ever done in my life, dude. It was like literally, we trained for like there was like 20 minutes of instruction, 40 minutes of rolling, and then an hour of like strongman lifting shit. It was fucking insane. It was the hardest work I've ever done in my life. And I
wow,
was like, when I was done with it, I felt like a fucking warrior. Like it was just like, and then like the kids are doing it, the adults are doing it. It's like literally they do like 2 hour classes, and like an hour of it's jujitsu, an hour of it's training, and everyone there is a fucking monster. Like
wow.
everyone is like jacked and ripped, and it's just like, and Karinga's, I mean, he's nasty, and the gym it was just a cool experience. You know, it's like way different than any gym I've ever been to.
Well,
You
Chris
know,
and I are at a point where we can live in different spots, and AGF is 100% fine. You know.
that's the same thing I am. I could live anywhere. I could live in, I could live in fucking San Diego, Hawaii, fucking anywhere in
Yeah.
the world, and I could run
He
my
thought
company.
I was gonna. He thought I was gonna move to Europe. And one time, quite a few years ago, I was gonna move to Italy, but it didn't quite work out. But I'm gonna stay in the States, you know, and operate Europe from the U.S. But yeah, I just was ready. You know, they have those parts of Florida over there where you have like the canals in your backyard, and your boat is docked up against the back of your house, kind of like
That's
sideboards.
fucking dope, bro.
Yeah, that's dude. Down there, bro, I can get a 4-bedroom house with a pool and a lanai, like the bug net that goes over the backyard, and a boat docked onto my backyard for the same price that I live in the suburbs of DFW.
Yeah.
You know, and I really miss it. My kids are 8 and 11. My dad's 73. And so my dad's going with us. In 10 years, my kids will be 18 and 21. He'll be 83. These are the years to do that, you know. And my lady's mom's moving down from Maryland. And so we'll have some people down there, and then I'll train where my black belt Brock is at, and just fun in the sun, man. You know, so that's what we're planning on doing anyway. So we're organizing the house for 2 reasons: for quarantine and for moving.
Yeah.
You know,
It's cool
Chris and I
though.
Chris and I wouldn't cross paths but like twice a year at this point, and that's just to go have a bullshit catch up meeting with him at IHOP,
Yeah.
exchange some exchange some money or something, but everything's pretty much online or tournament based and stuff. And I run new markets in East Coast and North and Europe, and he runs the headquarters cities that he's used to running, and he operates the website side. So it really is.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're lucky. You have a really good partner, I mean, and I have that with Missy, and I had that before with Brett, and I have that with Mo with ADCC, where it's like we can separate responsibilities and it's going to get done. And it takes a lifetime to find those people.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a lifetime to find a Chris Carlino or a Missy Estrada or Mo Jassim. Like, it's just like, if you find someone like that you can trust, you say like, all right, I'm going to leave a box here and I know how much money's in it. And you don't even tell them that, just like, I could leave a box with Missy downstairs with $20,000 in cash and not even tell her what's in the box, or tell her like, hey, there's a whole bunch of cash in here. I don't know how much there is. Leave for a week, come back, and it'll be the exact same amount of money. Like, yeah. Those type of people are just one in a trillion, man. I had a few when I was at 24 Hour Fitness, and I've been lucky enough to have about 3 or 4 in my professional life outside of 24 Hour Fitness. And but you have that with Chris, and it's a beautiful thing. That's one of the reasons your company's grown so much, because you had a partner. He had you had him, that you guys could trust each other enough to build stuff. And I'm sure you guys go through problems. We always go through problems. There's arguments, and you guys are very different, in your approach to things, and your fitness and jiu-jitsu, because Chris is he a black belt now?
He's a black belt now.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk shit, make fun of him for being a brown belt, but he, what I mean, is, what I mean? There's even your jiu-jitsu is probably way different. I mean, it's just different mentalities of life that you guys have. But
he lives an hour away and trains with Magnus.
Yeah.
And
dude, they got a girl over there that I think could fucking medal at ADCC.
Got her head shaved.
Lindsay, oh my God. That girl is a fucking monster, and nobody knows about her.
She won our nationals tournament, which you have to qualify for regionally before you get into the big Nogi Pro final, because we fly people to our European championships. We fly the European champs to America, but we're going to do that with the other countries as well. Remember, we're going to do the finale with you.
Yeah.
But she won our Nogi Pro Female Challenger, and she just murdered people all the way.
She beat Montana De La Rosa. She triangled her at my show, the UFC fighter. And then she came to fucking Denver and beat Mo Black, who's a fucking monster. Mo Black was like my brown belt, purple belt champion. Mo Black's beaten fucking everyone I put in front of her, except for like one. She was like 11-1 going into that match. And Chalea destroyed her. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, this girl's the truth.
Yeah, that's where Chris trains at over there. So I gave him up to purple. He was with me.
Yeah.
And then I moved and got a divorce and all that kind of stuff. And so that's why I don't really train with him no more. We live an hour apart. But, good relationship, good dude, different sides of the business, different personalities. But like you were saying, the trust thing with the money. But the other major factor is like, here's my task list and here's –
oh, yeah. That was the main thing I'm talking about, is being able to delegate.
Get shit done. Yeah, get shit done. Trust the other person to do their part.
Dude, that was the thing at like ADCC. Like, everyone was like, dude, how did you do all this? And I was like, I didn't. Like, I did my box of things. Mo did his box of things. Sean did his box of things. And Raj did his box of things. Like, we literally had a list of things. And it was like 20 things that had to get done for that tournament. Right. And some of them were massive, like organizing the travel for 122 people from all over the world. It was massive, but it was like, put your name next to the things that you want to do. So all the items are taken except like 3. And then there's 3 items that sucked really bad that nobody wanted to do. And so we're just like fucking drew straws and fucking picked what the ones we didn't refuse to do. And we each took one and got it done. And you know what I mean? And turned out to be an awesome event, But yeah, it sucked, man. There's some shit. Like, mine was controlling the security. And I was like, that's not me. Like, I'm not that guy, man. Like, I'm DJing at the shows, and I'll have like 20 fighters sitting behind me, like talking shit and having fun. Tournaments, I don't fucking yell at people. That was Brett's job. I'm not fucking telling them to sit down. I don't give a fuck. I just want to hang out with my homies and watch some jiu-jitsu, And I was like, I don't want to do this. And then Sean, Sean's was figuring out the transportation from people getting from the airport to the hotel. And I was like, please don't give me that job. Please don't give me that job. Because I was just like, tell them to get fucking Ubers. Like, we flew them here from fucking Brazil. Like, they can spend $20. We paid their hotel, their food, their airfare. Like, we paid for everything. We paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. They can fucking go, you know? And so Sean had to do that. And then Mo had the worst of all of it was room assignments. Was figuring out, like, because we share people with rooms, but then, like, it's like, all right, well, this guy wants his own room, so he's got to pay half of it, and then you got to split. And it's like, you can't have them together because they're in the same division. Like, it was a fucking nightmare. And we were just like, please don't.
So some competitors stayed with other competitors?
Yeah. It's like the Olympics. It's like when you go to the Olympics in the Olympic Village, like, you don't get your own room. Like, you share a room with another athlete, actually 3 other athletes. There's 4 people to a room at the Olympic Training Center. You know, there's a dorm. Yeah. The dorms are the way. I mean, you saw Sochi. That was that's a bad example, but like in Colorado, it's a dorm. It's like a college dorm.
I was stationed in Colorado.
2 rooms and then a center room, and each room there's 2 beds. That's how Olympic villages are. So we put people at the fucking I don't remember. It was some $300 a night hotel, like the one. It's literally across from Disneyland, Disney World, whichever one it is. I don't know what it's called. It's connected to the Anaheim. Maybe it was the Marriott or something. I don't remember. It was some huge, major $300 a night hotel. And I mean, we paid for the deal was it's you and another person, and then if you want your own room, you have to pay half. So it was like, some people went out there and had to spend a total of like $400 to be flown to Los Angeles, compete at ADCC, and be fed the entire weekend. So, I mean, sorry. And they bitched about it too. It's like, how cheap is this? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I was wondering how much IBJJF took care of your flights, your travel, your food to go compete, and your registration fees, right? They took care of that, right? Yeah. No, they fucking didn't. And they didn't give away any cash prizes. We gave away $300,000. So suck on my dick. You know? It's just like, there were some fighters that definitely are going to have to earn their spot back. I can just say that.
Oh, wow.
Huge pain in the asses. And there's a handful of them that are never going to get an invite unless they earn one. Ever.
Well, did it to themselves. They could have stayed with someone else and not had to pay anything.
They could have done. We even put like Gabby Garcia in a hotel, and she lived 10 minutes from the place. Like,
oh wow,
that's the deal. Is everybody stays in the hotel. Everybody's fed. Everybody, like, the sheik like has certain rules on like what we have to do and how far we have to push it. Like, he was the one that was like, no, they're not paying for their transportation. Like, no Ubers. Like, no. Well, not him directly, but underneath him. I've never actually talked to him, but it's just like, that's how it was. It was like, everything's first class. And I was like, fuck. All right, buddy. That was such a trip though too, because remember when we hosted those ADCC regionals back in the day? But to go from that to hosting like the World Championships, fucking crazy that we did that.
Yes, that's what happens when you push it and you're self-made.
Yeah, something like that.
That's awesome stuff, man. So you're gonna roll it out in 3 days on where you plan on going first and all that, huh?
Yeah, Monday.
All right, that's exciting to see. We have a little bit of our own plan. We're kind of in a different boat, being a tournament and not an event like you. But yeah, we've got a few things going forward. We're doing the same thing, watching the different states that we're involved in.
Well, I mean, luckily you're in Texas, so if it was me and I was you, I wouldn't waste any time.
Yeah, but we already had like the majority of the year scheduled out. From Virginia Beach to Boston to freaking.
So did I. I'm scheduled out until December. Fuck it. Change your schedule. Gives a shit.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Every single venue has to roll your contract over or refund you. They can't keep you accountable due to force majeure. So it's like, you're good, man. Like, I'm literally, my entire schedule is completely fucking gone. It's all different now. And who cares? It is what it is. And that's the cool thing now, though. You can call any place in the fucking Texas and get an event because nobody has anything on the books right now.
Yeah. Well,
Nobody.
the other main thing, like for the other places outside of Texas, is like the schools. The schools kind of screwed it up for us. We have like the University of, like in Tennessee. We have a university in Nashville, and those kind of places.
Oh, I use the UMBC in Baltimore. There's no fucking way they're gonna let me do a show there now.
Yeah,
College.
they're the ones throwing their hands up. But all the ones that are profit based and like owned by somebody, they're like, we'll take your money. Let's throw an event. Let's figure out that they want to figure out. They're all doing the same shit. They're trying to figure out how they can survive and throw events as well. I mean, there's, you know how it is. They're event centers. That's all they do is throw events. You know, it doesn't matter if it's a fucking boutique or rodeo or AGF. They're trying to put people in seats and throw events. So we're gonna figure out a way how to do it, and so are they on their
How much do you guys make off streaming your tournaments?
streaming them.
Yeah.
We don't stream them. We don't live stream them.
Well, hit me up after you're done. Let's have a conversation about that, because I could probably help put you in contact with Flo and get money coming into you for not having as many spectators. I can probably generate a contract for you to get paid money just to do tournaments and stream them.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that we wanted to do. We wanted to get connected with Flo. We're going a lot of good places. We have black belts compete at all of our venues. We got a dozen in Europe. We were supposed to be in Brazil this summer. So we really got to see how Brazil is. We're going to Tijuca.
Just get me. I mean, obviously after this or whatever, but send me a message with what your plan is, and we'll set up a meeting, and I'll try to get you on the site, And I mean,
sure, I appreciate it.
It's so dope, like the way they run it. I know like a lot of people hate on them so much, but dude, like once you work with them, you'll get it. Like these are some passionate motherfuckers that love sports.
I personally am a Flow Grappling fan. I watch it. I've got a smart TV, Apple TV, like with the apps and stuff, and so I watch it all the time. I appreciate what they've done during this. They got like the 24/7 episodes. Like you can have the thing playing for 13 hours on one subject matter. They've done little triangle breakdowns. They're trying to do the podcast and trying to do as much as they can, but because they have so much content from before, they can put together highlights. And I'm just a jiu-jitsu nerd, and I love Flow Grappling. I mean, what comes close? What is number two? There's not even.
Well, there isn't, and I think that's what everybody has a problem with. Is just because it's kind of they have a monopoly, but it's like they don't really have a monopoly. They just fucking picked all the best events.
Or
they
do
pay for it.
About it.
You guys people don't understand that. Like they pay us money. Like they pay me a shitload of money to do these events, and they're just like, "Oh, Seth's rich," or he must have investors. No, motherfucker, I have a deal that pays my fucking bills, so I can fucking pay people. And it's like because we have a deal to stream our tournaments too. Like we have for our wrestling tournaments and our jiu-jitsu tournaments. So, they're every company's hurting for content right now, and they got the right people, and you're in places that they don't have. I mean, I know the states you go to, and I know how low their membership is in those states. So let's get a conversation rolling, and hopefully that's like how I feel about everything now. Like seriously, like they have to survive for me to survive. I need Flo to survive. I need you to survive. I need these guys to be able to compete at local tournaments. So when they step on my stage, they don't look like fucking lip dicks, and I need the schools to survive. I need everybody. So that's why I've been trying to put stuff out. And I'm like, look, if your business is struggling, like hit me up. Like I understand you're a gym owner, but most likely you don't have any experience running a gym. Like, it's like I got 12 years of fucking running gyms. Like I can help people, but that time's about over. Now it's time to focus on me and fucking grind,
Well, that sounds good, brother. I appreciate your time, man. I'm about wrapping it up right now, but is there any last minute shout outs or websites or anything like that? Or
no, man, no. Pay your dues at your gym as long as you can. If you own the gym and you're not doing shit for your people, freeze their memberships. If you are doing that stuff, keep doing it. Don't bitch about having to go to your gym to only do solo drills. It's more than that. It's about communicating with like-minded people and being part of it and getting back to normalcy. So don't quit looking at all the negatives and taking the negative parts of it and just focusing on that, and take the positive parts that we can gain out of all of this, you know, the more personal attention from your professors, you know, higher level competitions. Everything's going to be cleaner now. You know, you might get COVID, but fuck, you probably won't get ringworm. And, you know,
There's something I put out yesterday on Facebook was, you know, owning gyms. I have Zen Planner. You know what Zen Planner is?
yeah, I work with Kicksite, but it's pretty similar, I believe.
Yeah, Kicksite, Zen Planner, Rainmaker. They've all got apps for the staff and for the members, you know. And there's a portion in there in all, because I've used Rainmaker and Zen Planner, but like you can reserve a spot in a class. Like like I can set it up as an instructor on my website, on my app, or like say I have 10 slots for 5 p.m. Right, like, but we don't do that as jiu-jitsu schools because we don't care. We want big ass classes. We don't care about reserving a single spot in a class. And so I feel like that part of the software is used very little. And I think that people.
I posted that a couple of days ago. I was like, if you are not set up to take appointments for your students, like you're a fucking moron. Like you're fucked. You know what I mean? Like because I used to, before I had my nerve problem, I used to go to hot yoga all the time. And that fucking place had 30 people in it, and it was packed as fuck. Like you barely move. And if you don't sign up online, you're not getting in. And if you no-showed 2 classes, you can't sign up anymore.
Yeah.
You can only be a walk-in. So it's like there's different ways you can do it. You know, it's just like I'm just sick of seeing people bitch and complain and not trying to make adjustments, and they're just making fucking excuses, man. Just go, man.
They're gonna flounder
again.
They're gonna flounder.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
Hit me up after the call. Give me a call or send me a message because I have an idea for you.
All right, sounds good, bro. I'll call you in like 2 minutes.
All right, bro. Have a good one.
Take care. All right.